Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design. I'm glad you could join me here today. Today I have a really fun little pocket folio card thingy to share with you. I'm not sure. This was originally like a double pocket tutorial that I found on Pinterest, and it's made to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but I like larger sized cards. So I wanted to design it to be 5 by 7, and I began to play around folding cardstock and this and that. And I came up with this. Actually, it's a little different from the original. It's kind of my own thing. So this is 5 by 7. If I did it again, I would have to figure out, and I'm going to work on this a little more, I want to figure out how to score in a spine. But this is made with really reasonable ribbon, all these wonderful Halloween ribbons. The shop is full of them and they're gorgeous. And Wild Orchid Crafts flowers also available in the really reasonable ribbon shop. And I've just inked these up with black soot to kind of get them spooky looking for Halloween. So it has a belly band closure, and I just used a little binder clip, tied this little bit of ribbon around it to dress it up, and then stuck a little Halloween novelty button on. And then this is a sticker from the collection that I added to a die cut and then stickled the moon to make it really cute. And it opens like this. And I stitched these up on my sewing machine. I wanted to do a magnetic closure, which originally I did, but this folder needs to go on a diet. It's a little chubby, so the magnets didn't hold it. That's why I had to add the clip. Stickers from the collection with miniature buttons, and these cute little pumpkins popped up on dimensionals. So the front is a pocket, and in the pocket I've created a tag. I love rickrack. What happened to rickrack? Rickrack used to be everywhere, so I've used orange and black rickrack as a border on the bottom, and I just glue this down, and then I tied the ends with this baker's twine that I also got at really reasonable ribbon. It's a black and silver, suitably spooky for Halloween, and then added some little buttons from my stash, a little Tim Holtz charm, and then this image from the Authentique Twilight Collection. And on the back there's room to write a little note or stick a photo, whatever. So that's that. Then this opens. Now the original design, these were both pockets, but I didn't want to waste all this real estate. I mean, look at what's inside. It's awesome. So I do have a tutorial showing you how to build this base and add the liner papers, and then you can decorate it at will. That's gonna follow. So this is a little sticker from the collection that I just matted on black cardstock and folded to create a little wee pocket with a cute little paperclip charm, and then these little chocolate coffee thins. I got this because it was orange and it's perfect for Halloween, but I tasted one, you know, got to do quality control, and they are delish. So over here I have another pocket on this page, and in here I created just a very simple little dimensional folio. This is just a standard 4 1/4, 5 1/2. And I didn't do too much dimension on this because this obviously has to close, which is why I want to work on this design and come up with a spine, because I see endless possibilities here. But the tutorial shows you how to do the pocket and all that jazz. So room for 3 photos here. And this just tucks in the pocket, she says. There it goes. All right. And then flip it over to the back, and here's another pocket on the back. So that's kind of how I changed up the design, and you'll see how to do that in the folio. Just some more stickers from the collection, and another one of these cute little, I don't know what that's doing in there. Another one of these cute little folios. And maybe I'll decorate this and stick this in to be a second folio, who knows. But that's the project. Super fun, super fast. It's a really fun design, and I think if I work on the design a little bit, I can come up with a way to make it more like a little book. So thanks for joining me, Kathy by Design. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'd love to have you along for the ride. Check out Really Reasonable Ribbon online. Awesome ribbon tying tutorials for those of you who are always asking me for ribbon tying tutorials. This is where I learned how to tie ribbons on the Really Reasonable Ribbon YouTube channel. Check it out. So that's it for me. Gonna go get my craft on. Thanks for stopping by. Here we have the base of this triple pocket card, and you can see I've already pre-scored this. I'll just open it out so that you can see this is a 10-inch by 14-inch piece of paper, and I used, I got mine at envelopes.com. However, you can, and I made this to show you that it can be done, you can join 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11 cardstock on the long side with score tape, burnish it down, and then just go ahead and score it as usual. And this part where it's joined, I'll show you, gets hidden. See, you don't even see it. And this, of course, will be covered with patterned paper. So you can do it with 8.5 by 11, but this is just so much easier. So, bring this in on my scoring tool. We'll make a fresh one. And I've got my 10-inch piece along the top. And we're just going to score at 5 all the way down. And then you have to flip it because it's a long piece and score at 5 again. And I like to score both sides because I find the paper folds better if you just, this is very heavy cardstock that I'm using. It's 110 pound. So then put the long side on and make sure you're straight and come at 7 and score, and then flip it. And just that extra scoring helps break down the fibers. And it's just going to make it score so much better. Now you can use a cutter. Mine doesn't like this heavy paper, so I'm just going to take my scissors, and on the right hand side I'm going to cut this horizontal score line over to the vertical score line. So pretty simple so far. Then take this, move this guy out of the way, burnish along those crease lines in both directions. It's just going to make your life easier as we go along. So now we have 4 5 by 7 quadrants, and the reason I had to do this, this is not a new idea. There are tutorials out there, but they're for small cards. They're for really small cards. I like to make great big cards. So I had to come up, do the math, and figure it out on my own. So now I take my ruler, and you want something that has a pretty good edge on it. And see how I've laid it diagonally from corner to corner of this bottom quadrant? I'm just going to kind of bend this paper to get it started. And the whole idea is you want to line your cut edge up with your score line. And it's really hard to tell for me, black on black. Ooh, that's hard to see. But that looks, excuse me, I know I'm getting my head in the frame. All right, so that is straight. I'm going to hold that in place while I burnish. All right. So this one is like this. You're going to do the exact same thing on the side, the other side. Bring this in. Make sure you're straight. Then burnish. That looks pretty good. This one folds to the back. So now you've got this tip on the bottom. Now come up to the top left quadrant, and again, come over about, it's about 1.5 inches. You want to come to here, right about here, and we're going to fold this square. So it's a square corner at the bottom. Does that make sense? And then burnish. Very simple, right? Front flap, back flap, top flap. Fold this, fold the bottom behind the top, just like that, and fold over. And you may have to adjust just a wee bit, but when you have it the way you like it, go ahead and burnish down those creases. To line this, I've cut my papers. And if your paper doesn't fold well and you get jaggedy edges, just go ahead and take a distressing tool and distress the edges. This is a Halloween project. The distressing will look phenomenal. So I'm just going to show you the fold one more time because I know sometimes that helps. Here's our 10 by 14. Bottom left, fold up to the score line. Bottom right, fold up to the score line. Bottom left, fold to the back. Top left, make this little square corner with 1.5 inches here. Fold the bottom to the back and fold over. Really easy once I figured it out. It took me a while to figure out. The others that I saw didn't have this fun pocket on the back. And you know me, I love my pockets. There's never too many. So to line this, I'm using Authentique Twilight. And I've cut, hold on, I made notes for myself. I cut 3 4 7/8 by 6 7/8 panels. And I cut 3 4 7/8 by 5 1/8. And basically, don't worry about the math on this because when you cut this 4 7/8 by 6 7/8, you're going to have a 4 7/8 by 5 1/8 panel left over. So use it. And I should have inked the edges on these already. I'll just do this first one. I just want to show you. And I'm building this as I go, but this should work. It works in my head, so it should work on paper. All right. Bring in your adhesive of choice. I like Dries Clear adhesive. And place your adhesive along the edges of your panel. And line this up. Then I'm just going to open this and fold that extra piece to the back. And then it folds back nice as you please. So there's the first one done. All right, that was easy. So now this is one of our short panels. This is the 4 7/8 by 5 1/8 panel. And this is going to slip in here. I'm going to add my adhesive to the back, just as I did before. And slip this in. And basically what I want is to line it up on the edge there. I'm sorry, I probably got my head in the frame. Then open. Make sure I'm doing this right. Yep. And then you're just going to fold this over this flap and burnish it down. So rather than trying to make a bunch of diagonal cuts, which can be tricky, just fold. So see how neat that looks? Really cool. Now you can take your adhesive and just add a small bead, make sure I'm in frame, along this edge, and then burnish. And that closes that pocket up. Now we come to the inside. Go ahead and open this flap And you've got another piece of 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. And if you want to cut this, feel free. But what I chose to do, I placed this in here like this and then fold it over. I just folded it like I just folded this and double checked it, and I was happy with the way that looked. So I'm going to fold this flap. I'm going to adhere this flap onto my main panel. This will not be seen. Place my adhesive on the back. And then line this up so that it's even and straight. I have such a hard time gluing onto black, but I wanted this black base for this Halloween project. Now, on this little triangle up here, place your adhesive and just fold. There we go. And burnish. So now it looks like this. This page is super easy. This is just straight up 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. And I'm using black soot distress ink. You don't have to ink your edges. You can, you can distress, you can do whatever you want to do. That is entirely up to you. So this is going to line up. Try to make sure I'm even all the way around. This is going to line up like this. And that brings us to this back page, which opens like this. And hold on, how was I doing this? Yes. So, hold on, I've confused myself. Give me a moment. Yes, I want this here. Okay, so this is a 4 7/8 by 5 1/8 panel, and we're just going to adhere this to the top portion of the card. Just like this. And then this piece, we're going to adhere on this side. And just line it up so that the bottom of this one is in line with the bottom of this one. Flip it over. And fold this flap down. Super simple. And then here I've cut, this is 4 7/8 by 3 1/2. And again, this is one of those where I placed it and I folded the corner down. And I can see I need to adjust that a little bit. Sometimes that happens. So let's go ahead. I'm going to adhere this. Hopefully straight. Straight is always good. Then this flap is just going to fold down. And I can see we're going to have to trim just this little nubbin. Let's see. Okay. Just need to trim this little bitty bit. Or actually, I bet I can fix that. Okay. I'm going to refold this part. so that it's lined up right on into the crease. And I'm going to glue it down so that it won't move. What's happening is it's moving when I fold the paper, and that's making it. All right, and then adhesive along this triangular portion. And then, let me see, do we need to glue anything else? I think we're all glued, we're all lined, and this is ready to be decorated. So now you can make little tags to stick in here. You can make, I had, where'd it go? Because I used the large cardstock to start with. I had this 4 by 6 inch card base left, and I'm going to stick this in here. And we do need to, I see, I missed a little spot. Yeah, sorry. We need to just do adhesive here and here. I got ahead of myself. But then that seals these 2 pages together and forms that pocket. And I don't want to stick this in there yet because that glue isn't set, so I won't put it all the way, but this is going to sit right in here like a card. So on the front, or I could do it on the front like a card. So either spot, it will work. I'm going to come in here and make a pocket to go right here. So I have a pocket on the front, I open it, there's a pocket, you close it, there's a pocket on the back. That's how I'm going to do it. So to make this pocket, I'll just show you very quickly. This is such an easy little thing to do. 4 7/8 is our liner paper. So I want my pocket to be 3 inches deep. I'm going to cut my paper 3.5 inches by 5 7/8 inches. This is so easy. You're just going to score, because you're working with 8ths, go ahead and line it up at the 6, score 1/2 inch, score 1/2 inch, score 1/2 inch. Then just trim out these corners, cut up to the score line and angle out, and up to the score line and angle out. Oops. And these fold in. Now I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine with either a circle die or an oval die to create a shaped pocket, but then this will just glue right in here. So we have pocket, pocket,